What's up, guys? Welcome to Mid-Level Media, and I am here today to discuss the Birds of Prey box office. It seems to be a huge topic of discussion this week, as the movie did not do as well as a lot of people was hoping it would do. I'm going to go ahead and call myself out here because I did a video earlier this year, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I was highlighting my most anticipated of the year, and I did some box office predictions, and I actually predicted that Birds of Prey would open over 100 million. So I'm not, obviously I was way off and I was way overestimating this film's potential because when tracking started to come in, it was like 50, 55. So it had no shot of ever making 100 million, but I guess I was kind of going off of what Suicide Squad made, and I thought it would make close to that. And I see Harley Quinn myself just as a huge character in the DC universe, and I thought this movie was going to crush it at the box office, at least back when I made those predictions. But it came in this weekend, guys, with $33 million for the 3-day total at the box office. Now, it did make 81 million worldwide, and I do have some notes down here, so you're going to catch me looking down. I just wanted to get everything wrote down so I could talk about this properly. But it did make 81 million worldwide, and thankfully, DC was smart about this one, and they could have maybe seen this coming, and they only budgeted the film at 84.5 million. So that's a pretty modest budget for a big premiere superhero action flick. So if it made 81 million worldwide this weekend, that means probably around now it's broke even. So I think that you got to factor in marketing and all that. Usually they say double the budget, and that gives you your marketing and what they're actually going to net profit-wise. So I think it can definitely, in the rest of its run, double its budget. So it might come out making a little bit of money. So I don't think it's fair to call this a bomb. I don't think it's an actual bomb. Now, I did see this movie last Friday. I reviewed this film, not on my YouTube channel, but on my Instagram page at Mid-Level Movie Review. So you can go check that out if you haven't yet. And I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was a fun, energetic action film. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I loved all the characters in the movie. So I wanted to see how they would progress within this story and hopefully sequels and spin-offs. And it's looking, judging by this box office, unless DC wants to take another chance with a sequel, it's looking less and less of a possibility that we're going to see more in this universe. We're going to definitely see more Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn in future films like James Gunn, The Suicide Squad, and probably other films, but I don't know if they're going to make another Birds of Prey sequel proper. That seems to be less and less likely, unless this movie ends up having some pretty good legs going into the rest of February and March to come. So I think it's less and less likely, but I did really enjoy the film. Great action, great performance by Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and overall I really enjoyed it, and I'm sad to see that it didn't do as well this weekend. So let's go in and talk about maybe some of the reasons why it didn't perform to expectations. Why did it not do as well as some people were thinking or hoping it would do? And I think that the number one reason, and I didn't even notice this until maybe a week before it came out and people started talking about it a little bit more, but the movie had an R rating, and I really don't think the movie needed an R rating. Like it wasn't really justified in the film in the way that a Deadpool or a Logan was. You didn't get a lot of blood. Like Harley Quinn's, I'm not trying to spoil, but there's a scene where she breaks into a jail and she has a gun. She starts shooting people, but they're like beanbags that explode. So you could have done that in a PG-13 movie. And I'm not really remembering any foul language or anything in the movie either. So like I reviewed it on my Instagram. It's kind of like a female Deadpool, but it wasn't as dirty and edgy as Deadpool is. So I don't think it needed that R rating at all. And there's a lot of young girls that love Harley Quinn. Like that's a big character to them. So I think you cut out an entire audience of little girls that could have came to see that their parents may have took them to see it or would have dropped them off at the theater to go see it. But Blumhouse has really been smart in the recent years, and not every movie they release is R. They do a lot of PG-13 horror movies, and they usually crush because they get that 13 to 16 demographic. High school, parents drop them off at the theater, going out on dates. So you go see the latest horror flick, and it's PG-13, so you can do that. And I think that Harley Quinn or Birds of Prey missed out on a lot of money because they didn't take that opportunity. So, and let's go into the second reason. So the second reason is that Suicide Squad was just not a great movie to most people. And I say that because I think that critically and in the movie world it gets bashed a lot for not being a great movie. But I think the general audience they don't hate that movie. So I don't know how big of an impact that would have had on the box office. But I think it could have had some, with some people that didn't enjoy Suicide Squad. And I know Harley Quinn was the standout of that movie, but I don't know how many people were clamoring to go see just the one standout of another movie as the star in the sequel movie. So that could have had something to do with it as well. And the other thing, and this is something that they've actually changed recently, and we'll get into that in a second, but the marketing with the title, naming it Birds of Prey when it is primarily a Harley Quinn story. So why not title it Harley Quinn? Subtitle Birds of Prey, but instead it was Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, or whatever that title is. But the marketing with the title just didn't do the film justice, and I don't think that it kind of got it in the zeitgeist of the film-loving community like it would have if it was just titled Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which brings me to this next point, and that they actually went in and changed the title. The movie didn't perform as well, and they changed the title, which is a complete, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like that before, where a movie didn't do as well, and then they went in and changed the title. Maybe Edge of Tomorrow and Live Die Repeat, but I don't think they did that week one at the box office in that movie. I think that was more of a when it came out to VOD and to physical release, they put the Live Die and Repeat big on the Blu-ray box art, but the movie's still Edge of Tomorrow. So, but to actually change the title of the movie after 3 days in the theater, and now it's being promoted as Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, that's a little weird to me. I don't really, I mean, I understand the logic, but what do they think? They're going to reverse the titles and put Harley Quinn, and next weekend it's going to make $50 million. Is that what they think is going to happen, or is it just not going to do as bad? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, in an alternate reality, this weekend, what would it have made if it was still called Birds of Prey, and what it's going to actually make being called Harley Quinn. And who knows, maybe next Monday we find out it made $40 million on the second weekend. That would be pretty incredible if they did that, they actually pulled that off. So before we get into these next couple of things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and ask that you guys please subscribe to my channel. This is a new channel. I'm just getting started, trying to make more videos, trying to get at least 3 to 4 videos out a week for you guys. So please subscribe and support my channel. Also comment below if you have any thoughts on the topic that we're discussing today, the Birds of Prey box office. Do you think it should have done better? Do you think it should have done worse? Do you think it came in just about what you expected? What are the reasons why it didn't do as well? Comment down below. Let's start a conversation. Let's talk about it. Also, please go ahead and like this video. See that little like button down there? Just click it. Just give me one little click, and we can go about our day. And just one little click. All right. So let's move on, and I'm going to get into some reasons that some I don't agree with, but some people are kind of pushing, and some I maybe might agree with. So this first one is some people are saying because it opened in winter and it's flu season, a lot of people getting sick, and I know that China's got the coronavirus going on. A lot of people are getting sick, and they're not making it out to the movies, and you got snowstorms and all that stuff, that because of that, people aren't making it out to see this movie. And I'm going to push back on that theory just a little bit, because what happened last year, or not last year, but 2 years ago in the box office? Does anybody know? You have Black Panther release, I think, mid-February, and it absolutely crushed it. All right, so right there proves that you can release a movie in mid-February, and it doesn't matter snow, flu season or not. People are going to come out in droves to see it if they are interested in that movie. So I think that debunks that theory as well. And I don't think last February was that good box office wise, but Black Panther opened at $200 million in February. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. And now the next reason we're going to talk about is the fact that it had an all-female cast. And everybody's very quick to start ranting and raving when people don't go see movies that have all-girl casts, all-women cast, all-female casts. Charlie's Angels got a little bit of that heat last year when it only made $7 million opening weekend. People said that nobody wanted to see female heroes, and they started bashing the fans of movies. I said, if you want more of these stories to be told, then you need to go out and see them, which I kind of agree with. Actually, I don't agree with the way it's going that they went about it. Or I think Elizabeth Banks got on Twitter. I don't agree with the way that she went about it, coming at the fans and bashing them because they're not going out to see her movie. Maybe they just didn't want to see Charlie's Angels. But so you have that angle, and what I say to that is, maybe it's a possibility. There's still a genre bias when it comes to um, female superhero-led films, female genre films, female action films. There's a little bit of a bias because for the past 40 years, that has been primarily a male genre. You have your offsets here and there. You have the Terminator with Sarah Connor. You have Alien with Ripley. You don't have a lot of others, and horror's always been really good with having very strong female protagonists. I don't think horror gets a lot of the credit that it deserves. I do think there's a little bit of a bias there. Like I think that a lot of guys aren't super crazy about going to see a movie with an all-female cast. I think that bias is still there. And it's going to go away, but we have to push through. We have to keep releasing these stories with female stories, female movies. We have to keep pushing forward until that bias goes away. But until it does, yeah, it's still there. And I do kind of agree with that and think that it has maybe it's not a huge part, but maybe a small part of why the movie didn't perform as well. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right now. So I'm going to ask you again, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below your thoughts on the situation. Why do you think that Birds of Prey didn't do as well? I'm not going to call it a failure. I don't think it's a bomb. I think that it certainly didn't do as well as people intended, but I think it's going to make its money back, and I think it's going to make a little bit more for Warner Brothers. Whether or not that's going to be strong enough to to have them make a sequel, I don't know. Maybe it crushes this weekend and makes $50 million because they changed the title. Who knows? But that'll do it for this video, guys. I enjoy making these kind of videos for you guys. I want to make more, but I need some support here. I need some views, some comments, some likes. So go ahead and like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time.